Hey guys, Solarkneecaps here with another Iron to Masters climb. So in our last episode, we actually talked about a lot of different stuff, and this is our second game, so go ahead and watch that first one in case you want to get a refresher, but we talked about a lot of different points. And in this game, I want to kind of target three things. One, I want to kind of state again that it's very important to itemize your front line over your back line to play your strongest board, and exactly what does that mean to have your strongest board and not keep it in this sort of like generic sense, and what to do at 2-3. We mentioned that you either want to pre-level or you want to make 10s, so we'll see exactly why. So here, in terms of, again, we're focusing on what our strongest board is. Mutant trait here, this particular mutant's really only that good with with the dummies, so that way you get the extra stacks. And I'm not typically a mutant player, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna kind of see what we get. Again, I just kind of picked two generic units. I picked a strong brawler for frontline, and I just picked a synergy bot with Zig since they're both Arcanists. So let's see what our augments are. All right, so we have a couple of options here. So one, we can commit towards the Arcanists. We have Arcanist Heart here, which, we already have one Arcanist. You would get Swain. We have a really nice direction of actually playing an Arcanist game with Starting Rod. Or we can do Stand United, which is just a generic good augment. So I think first, before we commit to anything, it's good to always scout, see if anyone else has picked Arcanist, and there is. So we will be contested if that's the case. So instead, I'm just going to pick something generic, allow me to kind of flex into the position. For right now, it doesn't really matter what we play, so we're just going to go ahead, put some brawlers out on the field, put them in the front line, put our carry in the back, and go from there. So right now, when I'm thinking about what our strongest board is, obviously Bruisers is an amazing front line for the beginning of the game because it's flat health. And that flat health, wow, we'll definitely probably go in AP this game if our items are any indicator. That flat health really scales, really doesn't scale into late game. Not to say that bruisers are inherently bad, but just that, being able to, have this sort of flat health is really good in the early game. So here, an interesting situation. So in terms of our strongest board, TF is, a 2-star unit here is just generically strong. So there's an argument if we want to go Sniper Enforcer here versus the TF. And to tell you the truth, it's kind of up in the air. Now, I'm going to opt to do it this way for two particular reasons. One is that since we have Handshake, and wow, this is actually a very strong board, it's going to allow us to get, 2 extra stacks of United We Stand, which, it's 4 damage, but that does go a long way. And it also gives us Enforcer, which is a really nice early game. Oh, wow, look at that. We just wiped the floor with them. A really nice early game trait to essentially kind of have like a 4v3 super early game. But, it's also just really good in scaling into the entire game. And wow, look at that. Got a Bruiser front line. So we can almost stop right here in terms of thinking about, okay, what is our strongest board? I mean, I think we kind of talked about it right there. We picked 2 good frontline units, 2 bruisers, and we had 2 snipers, and then also happened to get enforcers, and it also gave us, Stand United, so that allowed us to get a couple of little extra AP and AD, which might not seem like a lot, but does go, it does add up. Excuse me. So even here, like, again, we're at the end of the day, if it's like, okay, if we lose, we lose, but, what are we doing? We're playing our strongest board. And you can see that our opponent's doing something similar here. He's slamming Static Shiv, which isn't considered, super optimal, especially now that Urgot is no longer, really playing that ever since they changed how his auto attack works. But, now, like, we're kind of just chilling like a villain. So we have a couple options here. So when you're playing mercenaries, the best way to do it is to actually lose streak, and probably get about 6 or 7 lose streak, and then cash out and win the game. I'm not typically a lose streak player, so if I do play mercenaries, I won't do lose streak. So here we talked about making 10 versus pre-leveling. So again, so since here, I have a character that I'm willing to play, starting next round. So I'll probably hold on to that. And wow, I actually Enforcer the backline Cogma since it's 2-star. That is going to be fantastic for us. And I can make 10. I'm going to be able to hold on to a Darius just to hold on to something. It's, again, just a good frontline unit. And that way we can actually level up on 5 next turn and try to keep our win streak going. So here, there's a reason I split up these items because that way I don't have to actually commit to death cap. So I'm looking for belt, I'm looking for armor, I'm looking for tier, these sorts of things. So we'll see what we can get. I mean, this belt is pretty strong. It's a shame it is on an MF, but I will be happy with an armor as well. Let's see what this guy takes. All right, so it looks like we're going to be taking the armor, and the reason we're doing that is because we want to make Bramble Vest. Now, Bramble Vest has been nerfed, but it's still, to be quaint, it's fucking broken. So, oh wow, look at that. So we got an MF pair. We can go ahead and level up. So we have some options here. We can either add more frontline. We can add mercenaries to, add a Quinn to our composition. And if we do, then that way we can get rid of Leona. Now, it is a shame because Leona is pretty strong in these early games in terms of having more frontline. But we're going to go ahead and we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to play the mercenary version instead. Maybe get, do a win streak version, get a little extra gold, maybe hit some really nice breakpoints, these sorts of things. Oh, nice. We were able to kill that cat. That's very handy. So again, I'm not committing to any particular item. Since if say for example, I put this chain vest initially on Alawi, I definitely would have made Bramble Vest. But now I'm just kind of splitting up my items. I can make Bramble Vest whenever. I'm not going to be keeping Alawi or Vi until the end game or anything like that. But I just wanted to add a little more defensive on my 2-star character. And wow, we're kind of high rolling there. MF2 is a huge spike. And again, we got a win streak, so boom, and 1 extra gold. And as you hit, some quick maths, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we can sell this if we lose. So now we want to look at if there's anyone we can actually lose to, and it's going to be, we actually haven't fought 2 of the strongest people. But this all feels fine. I'm just going to separate them out here a little bit just in case of AoE and for TF cards. So this one is definitely up in the air. So we'll see. Regardless, we'll make 20. So I think, we'll be fine there. We've just been doing all we can do in building the right units. But it looks like that Arcanists are just too much damage. Blue buff TF continues to be very impressive. But you know what? We're making 20. We lost our win streak, but that's okay. It's not too bad. No one has streak here. And this, again, just having the blue buff is really strong in this TF. You saw those casts. I mean, he was able to do so much damage. It's not even funny. But you know what? That's the fun thing about being mercenaries is that, look at that. 1 loss, and we got an item jackpot. How about that? So we're just going to go ahead and just buy some units here. We don't really have to worry about exactly what. Just kind of remember how much gold you had previously. So if you don't really want to play these units, which I'm not planning on to, we can sell later. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But this Liaoyi is a bit... Oh, here we go. So go ahead and slam the Bramble. So we're just going to go ahead and keep 20 because I actually want to probably play this Lysandra at some point. So I'm just going to kind of hold on to it. And now we're relaxing. So there is the option of going Sunfire Cape here. That's totally reasonable, but instead of Sunfire Cape, we're going to be playing Morellos. Morellos did get touched up and Sunfire did get buffed, but it's just a lot of nice AoE, and she already does reduce the healing, but again, just getting that extra, percent true damage is just huge. And normally I would actually level up to 6 here if I had a win streak, but since we already lost, there's no reason for me to push these levels. I'm just going to keep the econ, and I can just go 6 pretty much whenever, maybe at 3-2 or 3-3. Those are about the average. If you're really worried about your streak, you can go 6 on 3-1. If not, you can do it at 3-2 or 3-3. Those are your normal breakpoints. Oh, MF just tanking that. Let's go. That's a belt diff, ladies and gentlemen. No cap. And boom, we got an item component. Wow. So we got another chain vest, which can come in handy if we want to play GA. So no complaints here. So we did just face one of the stronger guys here. You know, everybody else, we're assessing everyone else's team. You know, not too scary. You know, we see that Quinn, or we see that, um, who is this character? Katarina. So we're just going to kind of scooch over to the side. We're okay if Caitlyn kind of gets hit. But in the meantime, we're just going to put another chain vest on Alawi, you know, slam the items that we have. And again, this Enforcer is really proving to come in handy. It's preventing that 2-star Echo from doing anything until it's frankly almost a little bit too late. Nice MF ult, and that's going to be it. Alawi's going to be able to tank everything. Great. So, again, so in terms of, like, you know, like I mentioned about playing the strongest board, you know, we really haven't, you know, we made our general decisions at like 2-2. It's like, okay, this is our strongest board. We hit some natural pairs. Everything's been pretty good. So let me go ahead and grab this. I'm assuming it's just a gold. That's fine. So Thrill of the Hunt is definitely better early game since it's a flat health. It does come in handy in particular builds like Assassins. It allows your Akali to sort of heal up. Grab bag, it is just kind of one random item, you gotta believe. And then Ascension. Now, Ascension is still fairly good. Now, they have nerfed it several times, and now it's down to 50%. I'm just gonna opt for grab bag. It kind of spikes my board the most right now, and hey, you know, that's a pretty good item. That's a nice jump. So I'm going to try to get a 3 win here. So this is what I'm actually going to do. I'm going to sacrifice a bit of econ to just kind of chuck in a random Shaco too. Obviously no items, and he doesn't have assassins, so he's not going to be doing crazy amount of damage, but I just kind of want to, ooh, and good thing to note here, we were able to scout and find where the Socialite Spotlight is, right there in the middle, so that's something of note. But again, you know, we just got these good tanky front line, you know, we're still rocking with the 2 Bruiser, and we got a little bit of backline access, we got a little bit of crowd control with the Enforcer, healing reduction. You know, I'm feeling pretty good, especially since that Shaco's able to snipe down that mouse, so he's not able to cast too many times. It's just crazy how many times. Oh, a little miss, but the mouse dot ended, so we can go ahead and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So still can't make 40, but that's okay. What's 10 gold just to kind of guarantee that we're able to get that win streak going? And I mean, Shaco did a fair amount of work. 1,000 damage is definitely nothing to play at. Plus, he was able to kill the Malzahar, so definitely a fortunate thing there. Maybe not exactly a Shaco diff, but definitely couldn't hurt. So here, definitely looking for Sword, but it's on Urgot, so that might be a bit tricky, but that's definitely our preference. See if we can get it. No. So from here, we're looking for tier is probably our best option just to get a little bit of diversity. Normally getting, you know, almost getting as many chainmails as possible is pretty good, but clearly we have plenty of those. And Negatron just isn't exactly what I'm looking for currently. So get Elixir here. We're going to go ahead and just sell everything. Janna is definitely a unit I'm interested in. For right now, we're just going to go ahead and put the tier on Caitlyn. Again, she's just kind of a trait bot. Not really too worried about it. I would really like to hold on to this Janna, so we'll see. I think if we win, we will go ahead and buy it and take the 1 econ loss, just because Janna is a really good unit, and I wouldn't be surprised if we want to play that fairly soon anyway. Oh, again, this Enforcer is going to be so handy preventing this Kog'Maw 3. This guy is rolling out of his mind to get this unit. What is mutant this game? Okay, it is Darkstar, so the more units die, the stronger that Kog'Maw is going to get, and that's definitely proving itself here. But let's see, you never know. Oh, look at that, Caitlyn with the snipe. So, you know, I'm feeling pretty good. We're definitely way above everyone's econ. It's... Okay, so I really want to get this, but instead I'm going to get the Zac. I really wanted to get that Janna, but there's always another Janna across the horizon or something like that. So here, we're feeling pretty good. Now, there is definitely the idea of like, okay, I want to guarantee my streak, so do I level up just to play a Zac? It doesn't spike your board a lot, but it is more frontline, which can never be a bad thing. I haven't faced the number 1 for a while, so I'm actually not going to risk it. I feel pretty good about everybody else. and I'm actually facing first place's clone. So okay, as predicted, you know, I saw their board, and I didn't think that adding just one more Zach was really going to be the difference. We're going to see here very quickly if that's the case. Oh well, looks like we're just going to win anyway. Okay, well that's the best of both worlds. We're just going to hold on to a Vex and go on from here. Wow, so we are definitely sitting pretty if we're able to 4-0 the other streaker, and since we fought him, we're not going to be fighting him for a while. So, gives us a bit of luck here. So, pick up a couple of pairs, get our one extra gold. One little bit is really adding up. Go ahead, just kind of clear the bench out a little bit. Confirm, yeah, that's where the socialite spot is. And, win streak mercs, again, like, I get the idea, to lose a whole bunch and then you cash out and then the problem is that I think especially if you're kind of starting out, even like in platinum, think that it might be a little bit easy to sort of confuse, like kind of get confused on how to stabilize from there. And the term dizzy is definitely not a not an incorrect term. Okay, so let's see, what do we want to do? So just gonna go ahead and put some generically good AP items on my misfortune. This seems pretty strong. And we do have this bow. So there's not a lot of items in AP that we really want this bow other than Giant Slayer. So we already have one. We're just going to go ahead and add Titans. Again, it's not the worst item, but it's really not a best in slot in anything for the most part, but it's really just going to improve our front line. We're going to be looking for something like, like if we're aiming for something like Blitz and Scion, then definitely having Titans on him isn't the worst item in the world. Obviously, the attack speed isn't, fantastic, but it's not awful. So I don't think I'm going to be playing anything that's going to be dealing with Chemtech. So looks like we lost against the guy that I think beat him, and that's just because I mean that a Kali is, or that Katarina is no joke. So no big deal. Again, we're just kind of relaxing. Eventually we'll probably get rid of the Shaco 3 or the Shaco 2, but looks like we have 2 assassin players, and we have a couple of Blitzcranks, so they're going to be pulling this guy. So we're just going to do something like, whoop, I meant to put him on the corner to get maximum value, but it looks like he's going to get pulled anyway. So let's see what happens here. Nope, never mind. Quinn gets pulled. All right. So Fiora is definitely a strong champion, so I'm glad we were able to snipe that. But this guy has a Tom Kench already at 7. Oh, and MF is just ulting air, but we do still have a Shaco just kind of tickling, getting eaten. But this MF ult is definitely gonna hurt. Oh, almost kills the Taric. I don't know. Let's see if we can pop out. Get an ulti up, and yes, we're able to handle it. So this guy, again, like he really needs to start using his items. Like you're gonna see over here, like at the end of the day, when they say things like strongest board, I mean, are you using all of your items? Like look, nothing's going on here. My bench, pair, like pretty strong pairs. Taric, generically good unit. Blitzcrank, just a fairly decent unit as well. I mean, it's just it's fairly, you don't need to overthink it. It's very simple. And at any time, I'm gonna be getting out of mercenaries. Like I said, I'm kind of steadily going to 8, and this is me not scouting properly to deal with this Katarina, but that's fine. These are fine losses. We're at really healthy. We're not really too perturbed about even a sort of like 5-unit loss. We will manage. We're gonna be fine. We have a couple of win streakers here, one being the Arcanist, the other being that assassin player who's looking pretty strong. Wow, there's some really strong units there on the bench. I mean, so it's a shame because we were really looking for a sword to make GA, but clearly we're just gonna have to hope we naturally hit one of those. So in the meantime, we're just gonna pick maybe something that's just generically good. Let's just go ahead and there we go. So we're gonna grab this just in case, and we can make Shroud if we don't get sword during our last item drops here in Raptors. All right, Seraphine, good unit. Pretty simple. Just pick the good units, plop them there. Do something like this, perhaps. And we're just going to kind of do some, I say advanced things, but, you know, just moving units around, just kind of shuffling around. Other opponents are going to be scouting, so you don't want to be super predictable on where, you know, all of your units are going to be. So something like that. Oh god, another Tom Kent. Just so many of these. It's kind of crazy. And even after the nerf, they're still very strong. Still very, very strong. Okay, didn't eat the MF, so we're going to be killing it there. Now it's down to Caitlyn, and now it's just down to Tarek, and there you go. That was at least a better use of Thieves' Gloves. On the previous episode, they put a Thieves' Glove on Yone, and that's not who wants a Thieves' Gloves. Tarek is definitely more acceptable, because again, it's kind of the secondary tank, just extra items, extra front line. All right, so I don't think we're playing snipers, so that's not very... Oh, wow, I forgot I was on a lose streak. It's kind of crazy. So, and makeshift armor, you know, at this point, that's probably not worth it. So we're going to go with Tome of Traits, and we're going to hope to hit... Let's see what... I think we're going to hold on to it, so this is going to be able to get kind of anything here, plus 2 random ones. So we're just going to kind of sit, and we're going to wait and see. And then since we... just cashed out. I'm just going to go ahead and sell that. We're going to go 9. You know, we're super healthy. We're going to build our board, and then we're going to pop Tome of Traits. So we'll go ahead and use this time to scout. So, I mean, this guy's just full Arcanist. You know, that's quite scary. So looking at here, wow, it's actually quite tough to say where all of our units should be. So let's just do something like this, kind of centralize our misfortune. We kind of have a sort of pseudo corner bait going on here with Caitlyn, but oh my gosh, look at those shields. All right, outrageous. Thankfully, the instant cast didn't get an instant reset, but I don't think we're going to be winning this one. Those shields, those initial shields are nothing to mess with. Yeah, so that's fine. You know, he's at 0 econ and we're at 50. You know, we're at 59 health, which is on the lower side, but fixing to hit Raptors here. We got 1 sparring glove just to see if we can build GA. We will. If not, we're going to be building Shroud, which looks like it's going to get crazy good value. Hey, see a legendary? Pick a legendary. Maybe not a bad motto to have. Yeah, Shaco didn't really do too much damage here, but this is a pretty good spot for a lot of different carries. You know, we can look at Fiora, we can look at, you know, Kai'Sa, which is what we played last game. You know, I've been actually wanting to like hard force like some Jhin games to practice for Masters. However, I'm getting nothing but AP items, as you can see. So by the fact that I can't get a sword, hey, there's a sword. So good thing we held on to it. Now, to be fair, Shroud is still really good, but GA is definitely a little more applicable here. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna. Ooh. For now, we'll put that on Shaco just to give him an item. It's debatable. We're gonna keep holding. We're gonna hold strong. And you know, I think we're gonna be able to at least go 1 more, and then you know we can see when we want to actually roll on 9. So another Lux player, but it does get enforced, which is going to be helpful. Let us buy our time here a little bit. I'm just looking at that Tom Kent. Really scary stuff. Okay, nice heal. Looks like, yeah, so just seeing how much AP there is, definitely looking for enchanters is going to be a good play. Oh, I was about to say it's a Titan's diff, but it actually isn't. And we get a good loss, just a 1 unit loss. Hard to complain. That's a nice pickup there. We have a Lawn on our bench. So if we go to 9 right now, we'd only be rolling 20 gold, which I'd like to roll a little bit more. So we're going to hold on to 1 last time. And then we can go ahead and go for it. So let's see what everyone else is playing. So we have stuff. Definitely just some legendary things. Again, he's just kind of rolling, picking all the legendaries. Not the worst thing. We have a pretty strong mutant here. I mean, the Kog'Maw 3 is definitely no joke. We have Imperial carry with Scion. We have some Socialite. What is this guy going? So it looks like going some sort of Fiora Socialite carry. So that's always good. We have Assassins and Arcanists. So definitely a big variety going on in this. And it looks like Assassins are... Oh, well, he has a Collie. Well, that explains a few things. But, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not a great loss, but hey, we're doing okay. So now I think we can be done greeting. We're going to go 9. We're going to make our comp, and hopefully we're going to win the game. So let's see what happens. So let's see what we can get here. Just roll a little bit. Seraphine pair, that's nice. Blitzcrank. Let's see a legendary, pick a legendary. Here, we just want... Yumi's a good unit, so why not just play one of those? This is a good unit. This is a good unit. So right now we're just gonna sell all this. And it's okay, you know, like we didn't put everything out in time, but you know, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. So I'm gonna put a G on him. We're gonna put an Arcs. Why not? We'll put another Arcs on him. We can put a Hand at Justice on her. And it looks like, I guess right now we might be going Victor carry. That's not a definite, but you know, we definitely have the potential to. But we'll see. Oh, that is an interesting Kaisa, but I doubt we will get that. Here, I mean, it is kind of a broad possibilities. Obviously, we're going to be getting rid of this Merc for something else, so... I mean, we'll just pick the Kaisa just to hold on to it. The idea is that we're going to be able to pop off that sniper on it, which, though, at the end of the day, isn't the worst thing in the world, but oh, okay, so that's pretty good. But we also have Victor right here. Okay, first thing we're going to do is make sure we hit that. So we don't need you. This is definitely slightly better. But we'll go ahead and put our tank items on Tom Kench. We're just kind of doing that since we have it. Okay, so we're not going to have room for you, so let's just go ahead and sell and see if we can hit. Okay, so we do get Victor here. So we'll see what we can do about that random sniper emblem. But in the meantime, oh wow, I was not in time for scrap, but that's okay. So we got our little ball of safety around our Victor, and we have GA around him to guarantee at least one cast. And we just have Scholar. We don't really need to worry about... oh, and we're just accumulating items here. Look at that. There's another tier. So, I guess we'll see. I think this inherently gives them an extra range, so maybe I'll just give it to Seraphine just for more health and attack speed. Doesn't seem like the worst idea. Might as well use the items that I have. So we'll go ahead and plop her on there, and I guess we'll finally pop this. So Scholar isn't exactly what we want. Scrap isn't amazing, sadly, but it does allow for a few things. You know, maybe we can try to get into scrap, but none of these are really what I'm looking for. So I'm just gonna opt to get Bodyguard just to add a little bit more tankiness to our favorite little I say Justice guy. I don't even know. And in the meantime, I'll just put a tier on Seraphine. Why not? So we're just believing in our front line. This is going to be a big cast. That is a scary Akali with GA. Do we pop the GA? We do. That's very helpful. We get another cast with Victor here, and ooh, got a little unlucky. But, you know, at the end of the day, we are getting some items here. So I might be in the business of actually start to feed this Kench. Especially now that he, you know, I guess I'm going to throw a Giant Slayer on him. But actually, no, I'm probably going to put... Spear Shojin. Oh, excellent. That's a very good item. So we're going to start feeding this Tom Kench, and I think There's a Tom Kench 2, so there is a chance that we can get one. Right now, I'm also looking for the business of quarter bait, so we're going to kind of do something like this. Yeah, it's a real shame that my augments there weren't super great, but it's okay. Get some gold. Make 20, no problem. Go ahead, buy mouse, and we can feed that to Tom Kench. And when you really want to start feeding this guy is, frankly, when you actually have the econ for it. You know, obviously I was kind of leveling up, trying to hit some more key units. When you're trying to actually hit, that's not when you want to spend all your money, to say the least. I'm actually looking for that, so here you go. Have some premium, no shmemium. I'll put redemption on him and recurve bow. Here you go, Jace. Why not? So let's just keep rolling. We're looking for. Okay, I mean we're not really going to be playing Kaisa, so we're really looking to try to complete these pairs, which sadly we can't. But you know we're feeling pretty strong. I probably should have scouted a little bit better, but you know what? At the end of the day, once you nice shroud going on there. Ooh, and that is a oh my goodness, look at that. Look at him go. Yeah, so that is the exact reason why I put I put a fist on Janna, just because there is that small chance that you get shroud, and they changed it so that you actually have a better chance of hitting like particular things. Okay, so here, I mean, I got a couple of options. Probably just going to go that here, and sadly, I cannot give you an entree. I apologize. But I'm essentially going to Shroud Chi, so I'm going to be looking here. Definitely kind of want it on that Socialite Hex. So because of that, I'm actually going to do something like this. So that if they are on the Socialite Hex, I'll be able to Zephyr it. It is, so that should Zephyr the Akali, which is what we want, and we, again, just rolled the Shroud, which is great. I just realized we're still looking for Janna, too. So that's just going to delay the inevitable a little bit. Looks like I got shrouded as well. I probably can start cornering my Victor just to kind of keep him out of possible shrouds. He was a big ulti. Not too bad. Wow, this Galio is still alive. Oh, Akali got eaten, but that might be for his benefit. He can't crit it because of the... Oh, alright. See what happens here. Okay, pops the GA. And there you go. Just that easy. Oh, that's a nice upgrade. So these guys actually have... I don't know how I got it shrouded that game. But, so now we can go ahead and do this. We're going to start cornering. So we're just going to look at our initial... Yeah, so we're going to use this as corner bait. Oh, here you go, Tom. Not the greatest food in the world, but hey, it's something. And we're going to be using this to hopefully bounce that Vex over there. So if he scouted, you would have actually wanted to swapped. But again, this is the handy dandiness of actually scouting that, okay, well now I just took your actual tank out of the game, and now I killed your second tank, and now I'm working on your backline already. Huge ulti. So the hope is that we kill everything and we just have to deal with Vex, which is just going to be a very slow and steady grind. Thankfully, this isn't old Vex, so we should actually be able to kill it at some point. Watch out for i.e. Janna. Boom, there you go. The joys of scouting right there. All right, so it is... Okay, so we're going to want to try to get this Zephyr. We'll see if we don't really want to boast our intentions. Okay, that's okay. That way we actually get Yuumi too, so not the worst thing in the world. And belt's, you know, good because it actually busts her shield a little bit. So we're actually going to want, what's his base attack speed? We probably actually want it on someone who's going to attack a little quicker. So not everyone, no one's a really all that swift, I'm afraid. Really, it's, yeah, Victor seems to be perfectly fine. So again, in terms of who we're going to fight, it's kind of up in the air, but I'm going to assume I'm fighting this person. So we're going to do something like this. Again, we're just kind of rearranging our things. Again, I get, he's really greedy that, I mean, he kind of has to. He's 3 socialites, so it's, eventually he's going to essentially probably have to not greed that socialized hex anymore. Because I'm going to be trying to position so that my Tahm Kench eats her as soon as they come down. It's a huge Vex ulti. Oh, really nice Victor ulti there. Just nom nom nomming, get more items. You can see why people are really picking up Tahm Kench early. He is so strong, and you snowball so hard by getting these items. And wow, he is just really abusing. Remember, I was talking about Thrill the Hunt being good on assassins. Well, oh, just interrupting right there. Go ahead, make 10. All right, so we're just going to keep rolling. Hold on to this to feed Tom. Oh, looky there. So we're going to go ahead and lock this. And, we have a couple options. Let's go ahead and put Titans on them. And we're going to be feeding Tahm Kench. So what we're actually going to be doing is when we lock, we can actually feed this Tahm Kench and this Tahm Kench if we have enough gold. So now we're probably facing this gentleman. So we're just going to do something simple like this. Whoops. Oh, I meant to swap in, but that's okay. Oh, okay, we got a repeat. So that actually works out. How about them apples? Sometimes I'd rather be lucky than good. And honestly, I'm pretty impressed. So like I said, this is a brand new account, so we're just kind of working in promos. Now, I think it's kind of obvious, like the fact that I was able to agree to 9, like so easily. But I mean, if you're looking at the comps that people are playing, I mean, these are just very legitimate comps. That's what's really nice is that, there's all this good information, all this free information out there that, people can, make legitimately good compositions. So looks like we're not going to have enough gold to do that. So instead, we're just going to bing, bang, boom. Got a Tahm Kench too, and kind of a useless item, but, not the worst thing in the world. So we're just going to kind of place our Zephyr in a random spot because, again, we don't want them to worry about scanning. But now I realize we just have the one person. And here's the crazy thing that I'm also kind of noticing here. Like, you can actually use the keyboard to kind of swap in between back and forth. It's not super necessary. I mean, it's obviously good practice, but that's not going to... Whoa, that's interesting. It doesn't really do anything for me since I'm practically all 2-starred, but... All right, cool. Here you go, Tommy. Bo... I don't know. Here, maybe you can have it. You have this recurve bow. It doesn't really matter. So again, I just did a simple scout. We're gonna see. Whoop! I meant to swap over here because the Lux is on this side, but that's okay. We do have Yumi shield, so we'll definitely live through the first one. Yeah, and the Yumi shield just eats it. And if anything, I guess it makes it so we cast a little bit quicker, but we did pop our GA, so this is a bit of a positioning diff, but we do have our boy Tahm Kench in the back line. He's gobbling up. He's getting us items. It is going to be a little bit awkward. Oh my goodness, Tom is just going ham. Oh, the ticks? Oh, wow. So even with that positioning mistake on my part, and wow, just so many items. It's kind of crazy. It's actually kind of crazy. So at this point, again, we really just want to give him more AP. So we'll go ahead and do this. Our positioning is fine. We're probably just going to flick, and actually we're going to do something like this. Give more AP to our boy. So what we're going to do is we're gonna go flick to the left. So we're going to do something like this. Whoop. Okay. Well, that's all right. Kind of misclicked a little bit, but this Yumi's going to fly over. Again, he's just not caring about moving his Vex around. And, but instead, we don't have that corner bait, so it's going to be blocking right on our Seraphine. But we're actually kind of fortunate that it seems like it's only hitting our Seraphine. Got a huge CC there. I mean, it's just... Oof. And yeah, he just scoops, so... There you go. Again, like I mentioned, we're just focused on strongest board, focus on early. We played strong units to hold on to our items, and, from there, we just kind of played our board, went to 9, and enjoyed ourselves. So, like I said, go ahead and follow me on Twitch. I guess it's over here, where we're going to be streaming a bunch of chess, a bunch of TFT. You can watch me grind on my Masters account, and just have a bunch of fun, jam out. So, thank you for the second episode. We're still in our placements, so we're still grinding, and I've actually been really excited that these are actually like this isn't just like a bunch of people throwing units together. There's definitely some players that know what they're doing, or at least they have some software they're following to tell them what to do. So go ahead and like, comment, sub, and I'll see y'all on the next episode.